taking a closer look at cyber charter schools in Pennsylvania. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is Pennsylvania State Representative Mike Fleck. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about the current funding mechanism for cyber charter schools. How are they currently paid for?
Well, currently the money follows the student, but it comes through the middleman known as the local school district. And so anyone can enroll in a publicly cyber charter school. They are public education. It is paid for. So right now, XYZ school district has to pay 75% of the cost of that, what they spend on their regular students enrolled within their district.
So that really varies by district.
It does, yeah. No two districts are the same. Out of the 500 school districts we have in the Commonwealth, you could have districts in central Pennsylvania who are paying 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 to educate a kid versus over 20,000 in the southeast. But that formula does not change. You're still paying 75%. So what happens in the more in the higher percentile of that ratio, the cyber schools are able to bank on that money, even invest it in some cases, because many of our current cyber charter schools are publicly traded companies. And so, unfortunately, it turns more into the bottom line than what it does, bottom line being profitability versus education of our students within the Commonwealth.
How have these schools grown in Pennsylvania?
They continue to grow year after year. You have two types of students. You have students who have parents who are really concerned about the child's welfare because of bullying purposes, or just because they're in a career that they're on the road a lot and they want to take their child with them, and this provides a good model that they can still get a great education. There you have parental involvement. And anytime you have parental involvement, you're going to have a well-rounded, educated student. Others, you have parents who are pulling their kids out of some of our best schools that we have in the Commonwealth, simply because they had a fight with the teacher or the principal, or they just don't like the system or truancy issues, and they're not paying attention to how the student is performing. Often that student is going to fall behind and will end up back in the regular education system as we know it, and we still then are trying to bring the child up to speed. But there's multiple issues with cyber charter funding. One, we have what's called the double dip when it comes to the pension issue. Part of the formula that the school districts pay also includes retirement cost for their educators. The cyber schools can also request money from the Commonwealth. So in essence, they're being paid or a bill that's already been paid or a portion thereof. That alone, by taking away that double dip option, is going to save the Commonwealth over $500 million in the next 3 years, which, as education dollars get tighter and tighter, that's a critical approach.
And we just have a short time left, but there are a variety of different bills going through the Education Committee related to cyber charter schools. You have a piece of legislation that would have a 3-year moratorium on new applications for these types of schools. Correct.
Until we get a funding formula as well as a transparency and accountability bill in place, I don't think that we should be approving more schools. We have several options out there, so it's not like those parents who are wanting to look at that don't have options. But the Secretary of Education just rejected all 8 new applications last year.
Thanks for being with us. We've been talking with Pennsylvania State Representative Mike Fleck. I'm Jill Horner.